There's no public forum. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
If so, I'll accept the motion to approve the minutes. George, Stephen second. All those in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. And so Jeff, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Just running down real quick, it's been kind of a lingering item on my agenda, and it's kind of been always at the top of my wastewater agenda, is that we're trying to finalize the rules and regs. And the last time we got together in early November, what the commission wanted was to get some feedback from the city solicitor so that he could provide his review and any commentary, and then provide that commentary back to the commission members. I'm assuming that he would funnel that through me, but to provide it back to the commission members in advance of the next regularly scheduled commission meeting. So I had a conversation this afternoon with the city solicitor, and per our discussions, we're shooting now for the January commission meeting, which will be on the 13th, I believe, in 2021. So that's the rules and regs. And the rules and regs, of course, is a document that we're not reliant upon the city council to approve. This is empowered within the commission members to approve rules and regs. On the related fronts, the ordinance is moving its way through city council. It was November 28th, I believe, a Saturday, when the city clerk publicly advertised the sewer ordinance change in the Sentinel. And I'm expecting that the council, city council, will have its final vote on chapter 147 changes at the upcoming city council meeting on Tuesday of next week. So that's the main update. I was just going to give rundowns on the other things that are going on. The biggest thing is, of course, the sewer separation project, which is the next in the series of big separation projects, where we're taking old combined sewers and separating them into sanitary sewers and storm drains. We had bid this project over the summer in August, and we had gone through the award process. J.A. Polito and Sons is the contractor out of Shrewsbury. It was actually in late November when they initiated the work. We had a little bit of an issue with one of the sewers within the project footprint at the bottom of South Street, where South Street meets Laurel. And we asked the contractor to mobilize to go out there and address the concern. This has been a problem that we've been aware of for a while, but it appeared to be worsening. So we had the contractor mobilize out and replace 80 linear feet of sewer that was really failing. Aside from that open excavation work, what we're expecting for the winter, and the contractor actually hopes to work into the winter, is spot excavations, mostly doing combination manhole separations and some manhole installations where there isn't a manhole but should be. And then they'll also be doing some cured in place pipe rehabilitation of failing sewers. That's a type of work that can be conducted in the cold weather months, and obviously we're not excavating trenches for that. So we'll be doing that in the winter months as well. We have been coordinating both with Commissioner Bossinetto in the DPW engineering office on this. It's a little bit atypical working into the winter, but if conditions are favorable, the contractor is interested in pursuing that. Before leaving this particular subject, one thing I wanted to make mention of, FATV has graciously agreed to help facilitate an informational meeting for city residents and constituents. We're targeting members who either live or work in wards 1 and 2 of the city. That's predominantly where the sewer separation project is taking place. So on Thursday this week, which is of course tomorrow night at 7 p.m., we'll be having an informational meeting, a Zoom call on FATV. Counselor Bernie Schultz, who's the Ward 1 City Councilor, and also Counselor Paul Boshaman, who's the Ward 2 Counselor, are both intending to participate, and they've been promoting this informational meeting amongst their constituents. So hopefully we'll have some good participation. If we don't, we'll still have a recorded informational meeting that presents a good amount of information on the project. And I'm sure that the ward councilors at a minimum will have a couple questions for us. Moving along on wastewater's agenda. Blue Diamond has been active for us. Blue Diamond, of course, is our on-call construction contractor. We had wrapped up the Elm Street project successfully, and right now the contractor is wrapping up the excavation pieces and restoration pieces of the Highview Street sewer replacement and rehabilitation project. We'll still have some trenchless work that's associated with that project. We'll be doing some CIPP pipe rehabilitation on that street. And then, of course, we'll have some restoration that we have to perform once spring rolls around again. That project has been moving along quite well. We're hoping to get a price proposal again from Blue Diamonds, the on-call contractor, to do some sewer work on Boulder Drive. But given where we are on the calendar, realistically, I think that work will have to wait for the springtime. We are coming close to the end of the calendar year, and the calendar year had a consent decree deliverable requirement where we had to submit 3 individual submissions of the wastewater management plan. And this will be our second submission that we'll be providing to DEP and EPA at the end of the month. I'm expecting the engineer that's working for us, Weston and Sampson, to give me the draft documents for a review by the end of this week, and we'll turn that around lickety split and get it back to Weston so that we can submit the report and meet our consent decree deliverable deadline date for that. We're also going to have the SSES Phase 4 report submitted to DEP and EPA. Again, Weston and Sampson is indicating that we'll be submitting that by the end of this month as well. The sewer siphon cleaning and trunk sewer rehabilitation project, or cleaning and inspection project. It's not rehab, I misspoke there, I apologize. That project concluded as well. I believe that we removed 200 cubic yards of sludge and grit material, which is quite an amount of material that was occupying a pipe and limiting its flowing capacity. So it's good to have that project concluded. The project also did include condition assessment and capture. Because these are really, really large sewer pipes, we're not able to get a completely dry pipe barrel to do these inspections. So we were using multiple techniques, including CCTV, infrared, sonar, to get the best capture of the pipe barrel and its integrity. From what I've heard, we haven't had any major concerns of a structural nature. We've had some minor things that could require some rehab attention. And that's all I really had for the commission. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thanks, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff? Looks like you're good.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Is John on the line now?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, John.
Excellent. How's everybody doing?
Great. Probably better than your technology.
Yeah. So I have 4 items. One of them is the Narrows Road hydro turbine project. Actually, the hydro turbine has been installed and is going to be started up within the next week. So we're very excited about that. That project's come along nicely. We've had to make a couple of changes to improve facility itself, replaced an additional coupling and things like that. But we're real happy with how it's turning out. So, and hopefully the hydro turbine does, generate some revenue for us. But not only did we get the hydro turbine in there, but we also made some significant improvements to the facility in terms of piping and removing unneeded piping and PRVs and right sizing everything. So it really frees up some space in that facility just for accessing for normal maintenance. So and we also got a new roof on the whole flat roof section, which had been an issue. So we're going to be in pretty good shape there, and it really is our most important station, given that all the water from the regional plant passes through there on its way to Fitchburg. So at some point maybe we'll be able to take a tour out there, because it's kind of a neat thing. Probably that I think only like the second one in New England in this situation. So we're excited to get it up and running. The meter upgrade project is chugging along. I was noticing a slowdown in people making appointments that may be COVID related or holiday related. We're not quite sure. So I'm sure some people are, a bit nervous about letting people in the house, but we do follow all the required protocols, and whenever possible, the contractor ourselves will enter through a basement door so we don't have to pass through any living space. We're now at just about 70%, 68.8 as of Friday. 7,836 meters had been replaced. We have 3,560 left to go. So generally been doing around 200 a week, but like I said, it's slowed down a bit. So and I'm sure between Christmas and New Year's, it'll be a little bit difficult to really fill up those days. But once those holidays are over, we're going to make another push there and try to get as far along as we can. I'm sure there's going to be, once we get down to the 1,000 mark, that's going to be the tough one, because there are some people at old service lines, or some other issues. Maybe they can't afford to do that, or some other things that would prevent a new meter installation. Plus, I'm sure there's going to be a few people just don't want us in their house whatsoever, whether it's COVID or anything else. So some people tend to have, there's a few people that have filled houses and basements, and they don't want to move any of that stuff. So that's going to be a few of them, I'm sure. So, but we do have the WaterSmart portal up. I don't know if anybody received that flyer along with the bills last month, but we're kind of excited about that. Hopefully helping residents, figure out, when they have a leak, and also look how they're using the water and things like that. So, Jennifer, do you know how many people signed up for it yet, or?
Last time I checked today, there was 117 that signed up.
All right. Yeah, I'm hoping that, moves a bit more than that. Of course, we have, 11,000 accounts, but it'd be nice to get at least half the people signed up in the next couple of years, because I really would help them. They can get notified if there's a potential leak in their house. And, we're fortunate we bill monthly, because I was just talking to Roger Brooks in Leominster, and, they have leaks that go on for 3 months when they bill quarterly. And, they have somebody they read a meter and it starts leaking 2 days later, and 3 months goes by, and then they have a gigantic bill. So the fact that we bill monthly helps people, but if we could even help them further, we want to make sure that we get all the revenue we can, but I don't want it to be at somebody's, large expense of a leak or running toilet that could have been caught very early. So, like I said, I had a discussion with Leominster today, and, they're looking at, upgrading their stuff. And, if I told them the capabilities of our system, they were fairly impressed. So,
John,
that's up and running. Ooh,
John, can
I
I
ask
ask
a question?
can I ask a quick question? This is
Sure.
Jeff. Can
Yep.
we see this as administrators, either on the water side or on the wastewater side, or is this only for account owners?
No, you can actually sign into somebody's account. I mean, we can. I think there's somebody else, if they had the information, would be able to sign to somebody's account too, whatever. So there's nothing you
Okay.
could do except look at it. It's only it's read only besides signing up for something. So, but we
Okay.
can get that information because, you know, you can monitor your use at your, you know, your facilities or something like that.
Okay.
You know, it's gonna be handy for, you know, some of the business owners and apartment owners and things like that, you know, that have be able to look at, you know, a leak going on, you know, that maybe their tenant doesn't notify them of. So that's why I think it's gonna be really advantageous for them to get signed up and be able to look at things a little bit more. So, and hopefully Missy and Jen won't get as many angry phone calls. So,
I just want to say one thing. Did we get that posted up on the website yet? The link?
we'll
The
have to,
problem-
I'll have to check with Missy on that.
Well, I don't think it's Missy. I think it's IT.
Okay.
And my beef is a lot of people throw their paper bill out. They
Yeah.
do billing, they do online banking. They don't even look at their water bill.
Yeah.
Which fortunately the city, you know, doesn't do e-bills right now. So we're mailing a paper bill and a lot of people aren't getting it. So, you know, Missy and I have been emailing the flyer over to people so they have that link and they can sign
Yeah.
up. I literally emailed 5 people that I know that was like, oh, I got my bill, I just threw it out, I paid online. They didn't even look at the
That was-
flyer.
I was just talking to Ethan about that the other day, our consultant, because I was wondering if we were going to check and see if all the contact information was uploaded from Munis into there, you know, email addresses and stuff, and if there's a way to kind of set out a blast to everybody,
Well,
you know, with
there
the
is.
links and stuff.
WaterSmart does allow you to send out a blast email, but it's
Yeah.
only going to go to the people that are signed up.
Yeah,
So,
I
mean,
I asked Ethan about possibly somehow getting it from Munis up to there. I'm not quite sure how we
Okay.
do that, but that's what I would like to do, so that when
Yeah.
you guys get an email address, it gets entered, you know, into there as well, so that we can
right,
notify
so you're
people
gonna
because
pull that from Munis
yeah,
automatically?
something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that'd
something we
be,
need to look at. So yeah,
Okay.
no, I think it would be because the code red, even like the code red, when we notify people of flushing or, you know, water service being out for problem or for a while, we don't get any people through code red, but you know, with the efforts that you and Missy make with updating everybody's contact information, I think that would be useful. If
yeah.
we had it all in there,
I
because that
just-
might be
the people I sent the link to, once they signed up, they're like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Like they couldn't believe, you know, that, I mean, you can plug in, you have high efficiency, you know, washer and dryer, you have high efficiency toilets, shower heads. You put all that in this, you know, this customer portal, which is fantastic because it kind of gives the customers, you know, an idea of what's going on in their properties, if they don't live there or if they do. So
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And the more that we can get it out, the better.
yeah,
If I
yeah.
could
No, I
make,
think it'll definitely be helpful.
John, if I could make 2 suggestions as well. Next Tuesday, I'll be on WPKZ. I'd be happy to promote this for you if I can get the flyer. And then
Sure.
also FATV may be willing to run a spot, you know, between programming that advertises the program
Yep.
as well.
That'd be great. Yep. No, it's a good idea.
All right.
Yeah,
Enjoy-
anything we can get people to move along with that'd be great. So
I could reach out to either Jennifer or Missy tomorrow about the
Yeah.
flyer, if you're okay with that.
yeah, I have it. I can forward it. I
Yeah,
put
I
it
have
to
a
help put it
PDF
together.
I have a
So.
PDF copy too, so.
Okay.
Like I said, it's only 100 something right now, but if we can get half the people that signed up the next 2 years, I think that would be great. And I think the people that really would benefit will be the ones that will end up signing up. I mean, some people just they're older or just minimum usage. Really, it's probably not going to help them so much. But people that have issues with tenants or leaks or older house or something will definitely benefit from it. So it's worthwhile for them to sign up and get their information, and other than what we provide to it in there. On the next thing is I did submit for some revised completion dates for some of the items in our ACO, and that was approved by DEP. The mayor, the mayor signed it, as well as DEP. So we're all set there. I mean, we still got some things to do, but we're just trying to move it out a little bit further, with everything that went on with COVID this year. And we're still looking at the impacts to our budget. Revenue seems to be stabilized. November of this year was pretty close to November of the last couple of years. Our commitment that I just got today, but we need to keep an eye on that. I'd like to see, businesses open up again at some point. Great Wolf is still closed, so that's hurting us a bit, but I think that there is some more people at home that, we're seeing some increased usage in that way. It's kind of balancing out a little bit, but, there's a pretty good economy out there if, COVID was kept in check, and I think that we'd see the benefits from that, once, hopefully once a vaccine or this thing has passed through us, the population, but otherwise, we're moving along with the items that Mass DEP has for us, anything we can do in-house, and a couple of things next year, is the transmission main project between Falula and the tanks down the street. So it's probably the biggest one, that and the skater project. In the following year, it'll be the Oak Hill storage tank and the meeting house gatehouse. So, but other water departments have having the same issues as us as far as getting things done and getting contractors. Not only we deal with COVID, but it's contractors are very, very busy doing work. It's hard to get them lined up or to get them to even bid on projects. They're just out straight. So next item was the cross connection control program. That's one of the things I talked to DEP in the past couple of days about. We had our head person leave back earlier this year. We haven't been able to fill that position. We've advertised a couple times in all the trade publications and the newspapers, on Indeed, any place that you could imagine. And we've only got a couple applicants, and one was in-house, couple from outside. The ones from outside had absolutely no water experience, not even construction experience or any familiar with a public water system. So, we didn't interview those. The person inside, the current employee, I mean, they've made efforts to get all the licenses and things like that, but they're ways from, being able to fulfill the requirements of that position. You just really need a lot of experience with that. So right now it's kind of fallen upon Steve and Missy and Jen and myself. We've all taken a little bit of it, but it hasn't allowed us to keep up with as much as we would like. So it's something we need to really push forward. I also had the other person in that, our sub department per se, the meter room. He's out on FMLA for an extended period. So basically there's nobody in the meter room right now. We usually have 2 people full time. So we're really struggling with all of that. So we're probably going to have to look at hiring an outside consultant to assist us with that, to kind of get caught up with everything. So, and that's what DEP actually, emailed me and talked to me about this week, that, they want us to move that forward. And until we get, an employee with a sufficient experience and licensure, we can't do it in-house with the personnel we have. So it's something we have to, look at, getting, like I said, that help from outside. So to date, I mean, we've been okay because of, COVID. I mean, it's, I hate to say it, the one thing that's kind of helped us in that area, because a lot of people won't let us in for doing testing. And DEP understands that and it's kind of made things a bit lax. So we just need to keep up with the high hazard facilities, maybe dental or medical offices, factories and things like that. So which we're trying to pick at the best we can. But like I said, we're probably gonna need some outside help with that, just to get, to keep our heads above water. Yeah, I've actually talked to Mass Waterworks about, employees trying to fill water-related positions, and I'm sure it's the same in wastewater too. But Jen Peterson from Mass Water Works says that every water utility in the state is seeing the same issues. Just not being able to fill positions and steady stream of retirements. It's something I actually talked to DEP about. That they really need to help us with this too. We can't be on our own just looking at trade schools and things like that. I think the state needs to help out a bit. And I'm reaching out to them, possibly with some internships sponsored by DEP next year. So that's a possibility too. So, but I don't have a good answer for it because we're just not seeing people come into this field at all. And we're going to have additional retirements, probably 3 in the next couple of years in the treatment side. And I'm just not sure where we're going to be able to get people to fill those positions because those are highly experienced positions with, T4 licensure, which requires, 7 or 8 years of taking tests and experience to get to that level. So, when you're treating water and adding chemicals and doing things like that, they don't want to see somebody inexperienced in there, which we don't either. But that's it. That's pretty much what I have for this evening. So I don't know if there's any questions on any of that. I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for John?
I would actually echo what John was saying in the last bit. I've been having conversations with Minuteman environmental science teachers. I had a conversation with Jen Peterson and Mass Water Works that John just mentioned. Jen Peterson actually put me in touch with New England Water Works Association that has a work group called Water-Works. So I'm facing similar challenges to John. We're going to lose about half the treatment plant operations staff and lab over the next 3 years. So it's very concerning. Staffing sustainability.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not just us, the public sector, it's the private sector too. I know contractors that are doing water utility work. They're having a hard time finding good employees. They can find employees, but they're not necessarily good and they don't necessarily last. So, it's not just us either. It just seems to be, they've talked about it for years about, the lack of skilled trades and people going into it, and it's really coming to a head right now. At least for us, it is. So.
Another aspect to that is our labor contracts are coming up for renegotiation, and we're going to try to increase some of the rates because we're very cognizant that we're not paying enough to attract people. So we're going to try to get those wage rates up a little bit and see if we can attract more capable applicants.
I think that would be great.
What,
but we'll be fighting City Hall with that. With COVID, it was kind of an intended freeze. I don't know if anything has changed on that front.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I'm fine. I hate to say it, but I want to say people are lazy. I'm not saying that per se, but like in the water industry, we have people that have to be on call, as Jeff does too, that carry a pager and be on call for a week, and be available, on holidays and things like that, 24/7 at times, even when you're not on call. And a lot of people, I'm surprised at the pushback I get from some people. Even with our current employees, they don't want to carry the pager. We've had, we have vacancies in distribution, and we've already had, 2 of them said they don't want to carry the pager anymore, and we're, with the new hires, we're telling them it's like, this is absolutely necessary. There isn't, any ifs, ands, or buts. We don't expect you to carry it every week, but you got to go into the rotation. But yeah, we're getting some pushback with our current employees that they don't want to be on call. That's how they make more money too, with overtime and call-ins. And I don't quite get it. We talk about raising the pay, but here's an opportunity to, get $250 a week for carrying a pager and probably a call-in or 2, at 3 times at time and a half, 3 hours at time and a half. And it usually doesn't take 3 hours. It's typically an hour, and you get paid, for 4.5 hours. I don't know what the answer is, but I did want to mention that, just like I said, even with the current employees, that some of them just aren't interested in working that extra time. I'm surprised,
Well, we probably won't fix that tonight.
No, I just want you guys to be aware of what we're facing and stuff. And it's just
Yeah.
been talking with the HR director and just trying to attract people. It's trying to figure out a way and talking to people and stuff and interviewing people and, and knowing they're not going to be a good fit, it takes time. And, it's one part of our job that shouldn't be as time consuming as it is, but it is. So, but we got to keep plugging away and trying to get, some good people into these positions. That's all. So we'll keep working at it.
The trade school that's kind of the gold standard for environmental science programs is Minuteman's program in Lexington. And what I'm hearing is the majority of those kids, they don't want to go into our field. They want to go on to higher education after the program, which is unfortunate because those kids come out of that program as perfect entry-level candidates for our field. I'd really like to see a program like that in Worcester County, but it's kind of an uphill battle.
Interesting. Any other business? No, okay. Jen, I'll touch base with you tomorrow. I just heard a little bit of the conversation about Mike.
Okay,
But I'll talk to you tomorrow. If I don't, give me a
Sure.
call, but
okay, that's fine.
because I should we should follow up with him.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Next commission meeting I have scheduled for January 13th, 2021,
Sounds good.
Wednesday.
The new year.
Yeah.
Just one
Yay.
question. With Josh Berdarian's resignation, should we be pursuing to get a new member in aside from Mike?
I would think if we're going to keep a quorum, we really ought, a little new blood would be very helpful if anybody's got any ideas.
Usually, I always consulted with AJ for that, so I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the new, mayor's assistant.
Patrick.
I don't know the new guy.
I don't either.
Yeah. But we can talk. We can talk. Maybe I can reach out to the mayor also and see what
Okay.
we need to do. But if I don't hear any other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn and wish everybody a happy holiday.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.